1. Nick DiGiovanni destroyed my family. Don't go near the skating rink, even though it's closed now. Thanks a lot, influencers. We visited Rockefeller and I saw Nick DiGiovanni and like 3 other clout chasers doing sus shit with New York pizza. I'm talking upside down slices, raw dough flips, pouring balsamic on it like it's a salad. They made a New York pizza float that involved blending it with oat milk and lighting it on fire with a creme brulee torch. What is wrong with this generation? My 19-year-old son witnessed all this and said, honestly, that's kind of fire. And then he dropped out of college to become a micro-pizziologist. He now smokes rosemary on TikTok and builds pizza mood boards. We can't afford rent. The skating rink was the only reason we went. It's not even there anymore. It's just sad concrete and a vague smell of yeast. This place used to be magic. Now it's full of ring lights and dudes in leather aprons whispering, mouthfeel. My son tried to make a savory cannoli. I haven't slept in weeks. 2. That baby should be arrested. Do not bring your kids to Rockefeller if they look like this one. I went with my girlfriend and we sat near the golden statue just trying to enjoy a pretzel. And this ugly-ass baby looked right at me. I mean, really looked at me, like soul gaze. This wasn't just a normal ugly baby. This was Stephen King's Draw Reject baby. This baby had a 5 o'clock shadow and receding gums. It sneered. It had no teeth, but its mouth was open like it was whispering secrets to hell. Every time I bit my pretzel, it blinked once, slowly. My girlfriend got physically ill. I heard a pigeon die in the distance. I went home and drew it from memory, and my dog barked at the paper. That baby ruined everything. People need to carry blur filters around that thing. 0 stars. 3. Lathe machine just sitting there for children. How is this legal? I was walking near the art installation garden thing and there was literally a lathe, like a real metal spinning, dangerous machine that cuts wood. There was no supervision. A child had a chunk of wood in one hand and his other hand on the spinning blade part. A squirrel was perched on the controls like it was part of the event. No signs, no employees, just public access to a machine that builds haunted furniture. Some tourist lady said, "It's interactive art." I said, "Lady, this is OSHA's nightmare." A dog approached it. Who is letting this happen? Why is there a full-on carpentry area between a gelato stand and a Swarovski store? My niece almost left with a sharpened dowel. What do I even write in the ER forms? Wounded by rogue artisanal wood sculpture. Ban this whole setup.
4. Animaniacs YTP trauma event. This happened 2 months ago, and I still can't stop hearing the sounds. I was eating lunch in the Rockefeller food court area, minding my business, when an autistic kid sat down with a full portable speaker and started blasting an Animaniacs YouTube poop on repeat. Not normal volume, full blast. It was like, "Hello, nurse," bass boosted, followed by Barack Obama auto-tuned into Yakko. Every 9 seconds, people were trying to enjoy soup. At one point, the Animaniacs were screaming over a remix of Evanescence. The worst part? A squirrel dropped dead during the playback. Fucking hell. Like, it fell from the rafters. I think the vibrations disoriented its inner ear. And this kid, man. He had the posture of David Letterman and the cold intensity of a man possessed. I tried moving seats. He followed. Still hasn't left me alone. Every time I open YouTube, it somehow finds me again. Do not eat here unless you want to develop a specific phobia of Warner Brothers intellectual property. 5. Tried to propose, got attacked by mascot with foam hands. This was supposed to be a romantic weekend. Rockefeller Center, big tree, Christmas magic. I had the ring ready. I bent down to propose near the Lego store, and bam! A dude in a foam costume. I think it was supposed to be a festive paperclip. Ran up and yelled, "Lego, my girlfriend!" Knocked the ring out of my hand with a foam hand the size of a kayak paddle. Everyone clapped. She laughed, then walked away with him. She's dating him now. He's got $400 million on TikTok. Honestly, fair. But I'm still giving this place 1 star.
6. Foreign music scared off a moose. Yes, a literal moose. So first of all, I didn't even know you could see a moose in Manhattan, but apparently baby moose are drawn to peaceful spaces, according to some Canadian tourists nearby who were acting way too calm about this. I was sitting by the fountain when a newborn moose wandered in from literally nowhere. Probably escaped from a petting zoo. or one of those illegal Arctic exhibits rich people hide in their basements. It was kind of cute, very confused. And then, the music started. Some guy near the NBC building cranked up a Bluetooth speaker playing what I think was Bulgarian house music mixed with Gregorian chanting. It had those deep flutes and that unholy bass drop. The moose freaked. It made this prehistoric wheeze, did a 180 spin, and sprinted straight through a vegan hot dog cart. Hot dog buns went flying. One woman screamed, "This is why I eat meat!" Another person tried to live stream it and got trampled by tofu. Now there's a GoFundMe for the cart guy. The moose was last seen heading towards Saks Fifth Avenue. Please regulate the music, and also the moose. My child is still crying. 7. Nelson Rockefeller's ghost selling knockoff Jordans? I'm giving this 2 stars only because it was the weirdest experience of my life, and I feel like someone should know. I was down near the underground shopping area when I saw this ghostly old man in a vintage suit sitting behind a folding table. He looked like he came out of a black and white broadcast. He had no pupils, just faint orbs. Sign said, "Rare streetwear, blessed by capitalist gods." He was reselling hypebeast items, Supreme hoodies, off-white sneakers, all weirdly pristine, for $30 each. I bought a pair of Yeezy X Teddy Roosevelt collab shoes, and he said, deadpan, "Tell him Nelson sent you." Then disappeared into the wall. The shoes melted slightly in the sun. My friend tried one on and heard Latin whispered directly into his skull. I don't know if it was real, but I'm also too afraid to wear them again. My Venmo got hacked the same night. 8. The Rockefellers are hiding the moon inside this building. Okay, wake up, sheeple. I don't usually post reviews on corporate sites like Yelp, but people need to know the truth about Rockefeller Center. You think that gold statue is just for art? Think again. It's a sun god sacrifice altar. Every winter they light the tree as a signal to the lizard men in the Channel 7 studio. There's a Freemason tunnel under the Lego store. I felt it. There's a hum. My fillings vibrated when I walked past it. Bruh. Fat, deformed hype beast stalker in the Rockefeller laundromat. There's a deformed fat guy following me. Not once, every time I go to Rockefeller Center. Security says he's allowed to be there because he bought something called a hype beast access pass. I asked what that is. They told me it's a private equity-backed digital NFT clothing membership that gives VIP rights to hang around and loom near people. This man, this amoeba-shaped shadow creature, wears layered Bape hoodies, 3 pairs of sunglasses, and Yeezys that visibly squish when he walks. His thighs audibly slap together like a dish sponge being dropped. He follows silently, eats out of his own tote bag. I once turned around and he said, "Supreme's dead, but I'm eternal." No matter how far I move, he appears, like behind the Lego Santa, or halfway up the escalator. Rockefeller Center is not a holiday destination anymore. It's a money laundering operation for ugly rich hypebeast freaks. There's literally a trading post booth where people exchange Balenciaga backpacks for tax write-offs and call it street philanthropy. Nothing is real here. Even the Christmas tree has a Shopify link. I tried to report this man. They offered me a Tier 2 hoodie lease instead. I can't escape him. He's in my dreams now, with a Montclair puffer and his toes out. 2. Public capitalist tantrum destroys Christmas. I came to Rockefeller Center to get into the holiday spirit. Instead, I watched the worst boss in America berate an employee in full view of children while Bing Crosby was playing. This slick-haired, red-faced CEO screamed at some poor kid in an elf hat about Q4 disappointment and letting down the board. He then pulled out a clipboard, crossed something off, and said, "Merry Fing Christmas."
before slashing the guy's paycheck right there. Then, I swear on everything, this same rich old guy waddled over to the gelato stand, flashed some kind of senior card, and got a discount from a social fund for people over 65. He smirked when it worked. Full-on Gollum with stock options. It gets worse. Another fat chairman rolled in on a mobility scooter, fell off dramatically like a toddler, and started kicking the air in a tantrum because Halliburton stock dropped. He cried, like actually sobbed, yelled, "They lied to me about the dividends," and then someone handed him an ice cream cone. The employee he screamed at earlier gave him a blanket and said, "We're proud of you, sir." Then he too got a senior discount. And I watched the public pay for it, with Social Security. Rockefeller is no longer a Christmas destination. It's capitalist hell theater where billionaires cosplay as babies, scream about oil, and get free sprinkles. I need to be sedated.